Hey there, yoga crew. Thanks for tuning in today. We've got about a 30-minute flow plan, full body. And then, based on popular requests, I'm thinking we'll focus a lot on neck and shoulders. We'll do a little bit of hips, probably, and some lower back. So, go ahead, hop into something comfortable, jump on your mat, and we'll get started, finding a nice, comfortable seat. You can take the hands and then place them lightly on the top of the thighs. Maybe close the eyes or just kind of have them soft, your gaze unfocused. And then shift the shoulders back in space just by a few degrees. And we'll take 3 really deep grounding breaths in together just to root ourselves in the moment, in the here and now. So on an inhale, loop the heads of the arm bones, your shoulders all the way up towards the lower earlobes. Exhale, release. Another smooth inhale. Drink in your breath. Allow that inhale to be a little bit longer. And then as you exhale, feel even your shoulder blades gently extend a little bit farther onto your back body. And then one last time, deep breath in through the nose or the mouth. Shoulders lift up towards the ears. Exhale, ease them all the way down. Feel your face get a little bit more relaxed. Maybe even a little bit more levity in your jaw. And then take another 3 slow breaths here. I'm just thinking about whatever it is that you need from your practice today. Be it a greater sense of opening or grounding, or even finding your own relaxation and restoration. But as you do settle on a kind of intention for your practice today, I invite you to view that intention as a kind of filter, so that everything that you do from this moment forward, for the next 30 minutes that we're flowing, and then also anything else that you might do, any interactions you may have, imagine those kind of being pushed through that filter of your intention, to breathe more deeply, to find greater relaxation, whatever it is. And close the eyes, and then take one last deep breath in here. Then exhale, sigh it away. Release and relax. Let's go ahead and move, y'all. Hopping on the mat if you're not there already. And then from here, go ahead, from finding that comfortable seat, begin to extend your legs long, and they'll be kind of straight or straight-ish, rooting the heels on in towards the earth, flexing into your toes, shifting your shoulders back in space. So a little bit of core engagement from your belly. Inhale, lifting up through the fingertips all the way towards the ceiling. Exhale, cast the hands on down towards the legs. And from here, we'll settle ourselves just right around the kneecaps or the patella. And continue to flex into the toes. And then see if you can't lengthen your side body so that you're extending rather than kind of rounding and shifting in. Yoga is so good for posture because it kind of tries to counteract a lot of our natural tendencies, right, that we come into just throughout the daily course of a day in our functional movements. Another deep breath in. Yeah, exhale. Begin to shift on back. Bend into the knees, and this time let's capture hold of the backs of the thighs. I'm going to work in just a little bit of core. As we lift up through the feet, our shins will go about parallel towards the earth. And so you can just take hold of the thighs, maybe contemplating your toes, spreading into the toes, realizing that it's probably time for a pedicure. Who's getting those these days? No, not me. Release the feet back on down towards the floor, and then spin your hands back towards the back side, and then pointing your fingers in towards the glutes. Shift a little bit more weight into your heels, lifting up. Pulse the hips skyward, so then now you're coming into this reverse tabletop. You might even release the base of the skull on back towards the floor. Another deep breath in. Exhale. Release the hips down towards the earth. Extend your legs long, finding a little bit more length. Inhale once again up through the arms. Exhale. Take your hands on down toward the legs. And this time we'll walk them out just a little bit farther. So you're coming closer towards your shins and flexing into the feet. Feel that length again. So asking yourself, even here, can I open up through the heart? Just a little bit more. And feel yourself nice and easy in the moment. Exhale, release back once again. Capture hold of the backs of the thighs. And so we're welcome to hang out here. I love options. Y'all know that. So finding what feels best and what's the best fit for your body. And that might be here. Might even mean bring the toes down from time to time. So that would be the modification. If you want to scale it up and ratchet up the intensity in your practice, interlace your fingertips, or your thumbs rather, on either side. Begin to extend it over. I've heard these called Russian twists. And give yourself 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Either side, hands come back up underneath the thighs. And then we're going to do that for one more round. Again, you might want to bring your toes on down, so that'd be the modification. You can leave them lifted. If you're coming in for round 2, once again, take hold, clasp the hands, and then take it over from side to side for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Bring the soles of the feet back on down towards the earth. Hands slide back towards the sits bones. So your fingertips are pointing in towards the sits bones. Shift a little bit more weight into the heels. And then pulse the hips skyward once again. So always options here. You're welcome to stay here if this is what's working for you. Again, if you'd like a little bit more intensity, begin to take more weight into your left foot, awareness into the right foot as you lift it up energetically, and then crisscross the right heel, or ankle rather, on top of your left thigh. You can even drape the neck on back, feeling a little bit more opening. See if you can't lift your hips just 1/4 of an inch more. Exhale, release. On down towards the earth. Leg stays as it is, so this leg is going to stay bent here. And then if you were coming into a different variation, everybody is just going to come into this figure 4 kind of configuration. Begin to take your right knee over to the right and over to the left. Just feeling some more opening in that hip. And of course, the closer that you walk this left heel in towards your glutes, the more sensation you feel in this right hip and in this right piriformis, that kind of pear-shaped muscle in the middle of the glutes. So side to side, if it feels good, go ahead and just kind of pause in one place or the next as you bring it on over. Next time that the right knee is extending over towards the right, spread the right fingertips really wide and then shift your right hand a little bit farther so that it's coming to this even diagonal angle from the right shoulder on down towards the floor. And then lifting up through the left fingertips, taking this kind of side body stretch, opening up through the shoulders. So again, we can stay here. This is working for you. You might hang out and take a few breaths. If you want to come into a variation of side plank, root down. Really press energy into that left foot and lift up. So the hips are now lifting up and over. This left arm is lifting up and over. You might even choose to stay here. You can even extend this right leg out, maybe hover it a few inches. And deep breath in, rotate the ribs up to the ceiling. Release. Everything comes on down towards the earth. Extend the legs long. Once again, allow your fingertips to extend. I'm going to shift just a little bit so you can see this side. And then feeling those hands come on down towards the length of the ankles, coming a little bit farther, right? Still lifting up through the side body. So rather than the tendency is to curve and to round in, ask again, can you find length in your side body as you root your heels a little bit closer towards the earth? Mindful that you might be up a little bit higher, the knees could always be bent. Those would be some of our modifications. Deep inhale. Full exhale. Slowly start to roll back up towards the center line, bending into the knees. And then this time, once again, gathering hold of the backs of the thighs. Drawing the shins about parallel to the floor. So again, we can stay here if this is the best option for our body. Maybe kind of bringing the toes down every once in a while. And then bringing them up and down and up. So first option. Second option. Work your right hand over towards the outside of the left leg. Reach it on down to capture hold of this left heel and let go with the left hand and bring on down towards the earth. Begin to kick your right leg and hover it a few inches off the floor. So just a little extra engagement. And we can stay here. You can even kick that left leg straight or straight-ish. as we continue to hover that leg and maybe even extend the left arm out. So coming into this twist and feeling a little bit more opening into the hamstrings. One more deep breath. Yeah. And then exhale, release. And both legs come back on down towards the earth. Inhale, lead with the elbows this time. Lift the elbows all the way up towards the ceiling. Exhale, pour the heart down. Allow the hands to come anywhere now in between your kneecaps and your toes. So wherever that feels comfortably edgy, where you're pushing, you're extending, but it feels sustainable, right? Feeling the fingertips roll their way back up towards the center line. Bending into the knees once again, and then hugging the knees in from here, in towards the chest. So now we're going to come towards the opposite side. If you're coming into this variation, that is. Remember, we can always take the toes up and up, down. Or if you did so on the other side, it's the left hand now that's going to reach over and take hold of the right foot. Extend this left leg long so it's hovering. Right hand is going to shift over behind the right sits bone. And then bending into this right knee, we take our twist. We could be here, or we could even begin to extend straight or straightish. You might still have a bend, of course, in those legs. Or you can even find your balance by opening up through the right fingertips. Continue to work and wrap your gaze over towards the back right thumb. So the body always wants to go where you're looking, right? Where the gaze is. So give yourself a little extra assistance as you continue to look back towards this right hand. Deep breath in. Exhale. Cartwheel both hands back on down towards the earth. Find your fold. And so this time relax the jaw a little bit more fully, a little bit more completely. Continue to root the heels on in towards the earth. Maybe this time, maybe reaching out for feet, maybe not. And feel this face go soft. And the space between your eyebrows soften too. Another deep breath. Exhale, slowly rolling back up towards the center line. From here, draw the knees into a bending shape. Bring your fingertips back behind the sits bones. And then option, of course, to stay here or to lift up. So finding that reverse tabletop kind of configuration. A little bit more weight comes into the right heel if we're coming into this shape. Left leg lifts powerfully up towards the ceiling. And then crisscross and connect that left ankle on top of the right thigh. Feel your hips lift up just a little bit more. Maybe the neck opens. Pressing weight into the fingertips. Feeling your shoulders open. Another deep breath in. As we exhale, left leg stays doing what it's doing. So it's going to stay just right here on top of the right thigh. And remember, we're going to find that movement. So side to side, opening up this hip now. Yeah. And again, if you're saying, you know what, I want more intensity, we'll take it. Move your right heel in closer towards the right glute. And then take that knee over in one direction to the next direction. Feeling that sensation of opening. Next time that the left knee is extending over towards the left-hand side, let's get really hyper aware of our alignment on the shoulder to protect the shoulder. So your left hand spreads out at a diagonal angle. Really spread your fingertips so that you're taking up a lot of space, a lot of real estate. Tack your left shoulder back in space. And then from here, lift up through the right arm. So maybe you're finding this kind of extended, stretch if you'd like, coming into that side plank variation. So you're pulsing the hips up now, balancing on both the right foot and then that left arm. So we can always stay here if you want it, if you go for it, if you're pushing for it. Extend that left leg, and then you can even feel just a little bit more energy flowing into that left foot. One more breath, y'all. Then exhale, release, and bring it back on down. Let's roll it into a tabletop position. So tabletop, knees come on down underneath the shoulders. Spread right through the fingertips. It'll take up space underneath the shoulders. On an inhale, lift up through the right fingertips. As you exhale, dive this right hand all the way underneath the ribs over towards the left hand side. Bring your right side body on down towards the floor. Inhale, lift back up once again, lifting open through the right shoulder. And then this time, exhale, flip the right hand towards the lower back. And just feel the shoulder kind of open. Your elbow is bent in space. Another deep inhale. Exhale. Release the hand back on down towards the earth. So option to stay here, we can always use our tabletop, right, as a transition posture. Or if you want to curl the toes underneath, lift the hips up and back. We'll slowly pour the heart on down and feel the hips lift up into your downward facing dog. And so in your down dog, your heels might be lifted up quite a bit. It's okay. Ease them on down in space and press weight into your thumbs. Press weight into your index finger, and then the middle finger, ring finger, and pinky. Next, inhale, take the left foot towards the center of the mat and lift the right leg really high and strong. As you exhale, connect right knee, right elbow. Connect. Inhale, extend long. Once again, through this right leg, power it up. Exhale, connect again, right knee, right elbow. Roll the body forward. Last time. Inhale, lifting up. Right leg extends long. As you exhale, this time, right foot draws all the way through, just towards the top edge of the mat. Stepping to the left of the right thumb. Our back left heel is lifted. It's spiked really high. And then go ahead and widen your stance a little bit if that makes your posture feel more stable. Once you're ready, inhale, sweep 10 fingertips high up towards the ceiling. Rebend a little bit more deeply into this front right thigh. Feel your collarbones even spread open. Rotate the pinkies in. Deep inhale. On the exhale, this right hand releases all the way towards the back of the left thigh. Continue to lift up through the left fingertips. Bend a little deeper into that front right thigh. Full inhale. On the exhale, cartwheel both hands on down towards the earth once again. Bring awareness and attention into that back left heel. And then step your back left foot up, so that left foot is now squared evenly on the earth. Both legs are straight or straight-ish, but you can see there's a little bit of at least a micro bend in my front right knee. So if your knee is bent too, know that you're in good company and that this is still definitely accessing the posture. So find whatever kind of variation of the bend is going to work best for your body. So it could be coming up a little bit higher by drawing both hands onto the tops of your thighs or onto the top of the right thigh. Or maybe it's coming on down a little bit more towards the shin. If your hands are coming to the floor, great. If not, also great. Don't worry about it. I like to tent my fingertips a lot so that the floor comes up closer. I don't have to struggle to get on down quite as much. But from here, we're all going to bring attention to the right thumb and then hook your right thumb into your right hip crease as you kind of gently tack it back in space. Feel that hip relax and then feel your back body lengthen. As you do so, feel your jaw release a little bit more. Another deep inhale. Exhale, release. Both hands are going to come on down towards the earth. Step it on back into a high plank pose. So top of a push-up, your knees can always be down for this too. So you might be in kind of a modified plank with the knees on here. Full inhale and full exhale. If you're in the high plank variation, in fact, even if your knees are on down, let's go ahead and come down to the forearms. Feel your hips get a little bit lower. So I always think it's crazy because this is supposed to be a modification to make it easier, right? I beg to differ. I do not think this is easier. But it does take the tension out of your wrists, right? You could even flip your palms up in towards your face, rock forward and back. Another deep breath. Exhale. Everybody releases the belly on down towards the earth. And so from here, press your forearms down into the ground. Begin to bend into this back right knee. Give the front body a little bit of opening. Reach back with the right fingertips. Maybe you capture hold of your foot. Maybe you don't. That might not be accessible. And so this is what the modification would be like. Simply extending back with the right fingertips. Or maybe you do have hold of the foot. And if you do have hold of the foot, continue to wrap that right heel up in towards your glute, and then the right shoulder and elbow would extend back. If you feel yourself really putting a lot of pressure into this left shoulder, see if you can't hug all the energy into your midsection, and then from there lift up a little bit more. So that's actually your core that's lifting you and protecting the spine. Deep breath in. Yeah, you got it. I'm assuming you got it. I certainly can't see you, but I like to think that you got it. Exhale, release. Bring it back on down. Let's let the hands, the palms fill up the space underneath the shoulders. Curl the toes under. Inhale, energetically, high plank, or maybe a modified plank with the knees on down. I'm gonna shift to this side. Exhale, take it back to either downward facing dog from here, or the knees down. In fact, let's all take it to the knees down. Let's do that so we can open up the shoulder on this side. Inhale, left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Breathe full and deep. Exhale, dive this left hand underneath, all the way over towards the right hand side. And let the left kind of hairy side of your skull come on down towards the earth. Deep breath. Exhale. On the next inhale, once again, lift up through the fingertips. This time, flip the back of the left hand so it comes towards your sacrum, that kind of flat bone that connects the spine to the hips. And then bending into the elbow, feel the elbow reach back in space. And like you have a chicken wing arm, you're moving it back and forth a little bit, side to side. Another inhale. Exhale, release. Cartwheel that hand back on down towards the earth. So again, hand placement, really wide hands, active fingers. Curl the toes under if you're not going to use tabletop. And shift the hips up and back, coming into that downward facing. This time, energy lights up the left heel. Extend and lift, exhale, round left knee, left elbow. Inhale, extend long and strong through that left leg. Exhale once again, left knee, left elbow. Take it. Inhale. Last time, lifting that left heel high. Look at the space between your thumbs. Exhale, bring it home. Left foot steps just to the right now of the left thumb. Widen your stance, so right foot a little bit further to the right, left foot a little bit further to the left over there. And then bend into this left knee, reach, lifting up through the fingertips, sinking a little bit deeper into that left front thigh. Right back heel is lifted as you're extending. Open up through the heart. Gently part your lips open even. Take your gaze to the sky. Rotate the pinkies in. Deep inhale. On the exhale, left hand cast over towards the back of the right thigh. Continue to breathe through the right fingertips now, reversing the stance. Sink a little bit deeper into that left knee. And deep breath in here. Exhale, reach back out, and then both hands sweep down towards the floor. Back right foot is now going to lift up and just step it in closer. Whatever feels most accessible for you, root that back right heel down, y'all. Feel the heel connect to the earth. And if you still feel it lifted, just like mine is right there, step it in closer. Yeah. Yoga police isn't going to report you. Tent the fingertips, bring the floor closer to you, and then remember that coming into this posture, we can always come up higher. So if you really feel like you're reaching, you're straining to the ground, just come up higher. Have a little bit of more of a bend into that left knee. We could be here. We can come on down here, utilizing the shin. Maybe you're tenting the fingertips, or maybe your hands are flat on down towards the floor. But do find what works best. And then we're going to give ourselves a manual adjustment, right? So left thumb is going to situate itself into the hip crest. Gently tack that back, or this front rather, left hip and thigh back in space as your right hip kind of eases forward. Breathe. Deep, full breath in. To exhale. And as you're ready, both hands are going to come on down towards the floor. Step it on back once more into a high plank pose. You might always have the knees down. So again, that's the modification. If you want to play around a little bit with side plank, begin to press your insteps together. Rock over onto the pinky toe side of your right foot. You can bring your left hand towards the left hip, maybe even ease, lifting it up and over towards the ceiling. Deep breath. Exhale, bring it back in towards the center line. From here, bring the insteps once again in towards the middle, and then rock it over towards the left pinky toe. Right fingertips lift on up, right arm lifts up and over towards the skull. Continue to press on down through the feet. Exhale, release. Both hands down towards the earth. We'll roll it all the way down towards the belly. And so this time, feel the hands once again surf on out in front. And then from here, bend into the back left knee. Reach on back with your left fingertips. Maybe you simply extend. Or maybe you take hold of that left foot and guide the left heel in towards the glute. Even bend into the shoulder. And then ask yourself, even here, can you find kind of an element of relaxation? Even here, can you come back to that intention that we set in the beginning of our practice? Same cueing here. If you feel like you're really kind of slumping into this shoulder, lift up a little bit more from your midsection. Feel the core wrapped 360 degrees around the midsection of the body, lifting, protecting. Another deep inhale. Then exhale with control. Go ahead and release that foot back in space. Roll ourselves over onto the back body. So already coming in to kind of the more restorative section of our practice. Hug the knees in towards the chest. We've moved a little bit. We've opened up through the shoulders. We're just going to slowly start to take it on down. So hugging the knees in, beginning to lift the feet up towards the ceiling and allowing the arms to extend on alongside the torso. Can point into the toes, and then flex into the feet. Point into the toes, and flex into the feet. And then just like you're riding a bicycle in reverse, beginning to slowly kind of pedal out the legs, but backwards, so bending into one knee and then the other. As you're slowly now, begin to pedal that bicycle all the way on down towards the earth. As you legs extend a little bit longer, and the feet connect on down towards the floor. Inhale the right heel to lift up towards the ceiling. Rotate the ankle just a couple times. And then exhale. Crisscross that right heel over towards the left thigh. So we've been here before. You may choose to rock a little bit, just side to side. And we can interlace the fingertips at the base of that left thigh, easing the back body on down towards the earth. Keep both feet flexed. And then feel yourself begin to relax a little bit more fully in space. Feeling the consolidated movements that we've just done. So just like a glass of water that maybe has a lot of sediment, and you've shook it up and all that sediment was whirling around. And Buddhists like to say that so too are our thoughts, right? Similar to that sediment that's floating around in the glass. And then once we find stillness, once we find the pause in our movements, in our daily routines, that sediment starts to drift to the bottom. And we find a little bit more clarity, a little bit more space. And gently release hold of the left thigh. Allow that leg to come back down towards the ground. Begin to hug your right knee in towards your chest and extend the left leg all the way long. We'll find one reclined twist. Gently wrapping this right knee all the way over towards the left hand side. Right fingertips are going to extend over towards the right. Just feel the spine kind of pressed on down towards the earth. Trying to angle the right shoulder blade and right kneecap on down towards the earth. Taking a deep breath in. Then exhale. Come back towards the center line. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Press the sacrum down towards the earth. Now, right foot fills up space on the floor. Left leg lifts up. Rotate into the left ankle. Pressing into the left toes. And then bend into the left knee and bring the left ankle on top of the right thigh. And you could find a little bit of movement side to side. This is what was working for you. As you're ready, hands, fingertips extend on down, and we'll interlace fingers at the back of that right thigh. Relax the skull, but do flex both feet. And so returning back to that metaphor of the glass of water, all the sediment, all of our thoughts, and starting to settle a little bit more deeply at the bottom. Taking in 3 really deep and slow breaths, allowing ourselves to occupy very fully that space of the water. And as there's this freeing sense of nothingness. And after that 3rd full and complete exhale, allow the right foot to shift back on down towards the earth. Plug the left knee in towards the jawline. Extend the right leg long in space. And then we'll wrap the left knee over towards the right hand side. Right hand can kind of guide it. I like to apply a little bit of extra pressure, just a little bit more weight with that right hand as the left arm extends over towards the left hand side. You might even take your gaze or your chin in alignment with the left shoulder, but the eyes can be soft here, they can be closed. Feeling yourself get all the benefits of this twist, angling the left shoulder blade down, the left knee down as well, and just continuing to gently rotate ever so slightly over towards that left hand. Feeling the breath come a little bit more smoothly. It's like you're smoothing out all the edges. Feeling the body come back and self-soothe. Drawing in one more inhale in this posture. Full exhale, release. And guide the knees back in towards the chest one last time. A little bit more of a rock, of a roll. And then as you're ready, those heels extend all the way long. There are Shavasana. Arms can grow long inside the body. The face is soft. There's no more muscular effort or energy in the face, the neck, or the shoulders. The belly is soft too. Feel the thighs, the hips, then your shins and ankles and heels melt into the earth. And feeling everything get easy and open. You're welcome to stay here for the next few minutes or to come out whenever you're ready. Welcome out to read our final meditation. But you're welcome again. Stay as you are if that's working for you. With the face relaxed. the eyes closed. And breathing slowly and fully. And there's a common misunderstanding among all the human beings who have ever been born on the earth that the best way to live is to try and avoid pain and just try to get comfortable. You can see this even in insects and animals and birds. All of us are the same. A much more interesting, kind, adventurous, and joyful approach to life is to begin to develop our curiosity, not caring whether the object of our inquisitiveness is bitter or sweet. To lead a life that goes beyond pettiness and prejudice and always wanting to make sure that everything turns out on our own terms. To lead a more passionate, full, and delightful life than that. We must realize that we can endure a lot of pain and pleasure for the sake of finding out who we are and what this world is. As you're ready, you can slowly begin to draw the knees back in towards the chest. And find your way to a comfortable seat one last time. And you can take the hands in towards the heart. I thank y'all for joining me from my home to yours. I hope you have a beautiful day and enjoy your practice. Namaste.